Hello guys, hope you are enjoying very good health. We are here with the brief explanation of Dawn Editorials. We have made easy to study the Dawn Editorials by giving the meanings of difficult words, by describing the idioms and indicating the punctuation marks and discourse markers. Let's start with the first editorial, that is, after the vote, Prime Minister Imran Khan may have received the vote of confidence, but it does not resolve the major issues that ruling party, that is PTI, faces. By obtaining 178 votes on Saturday in the National Assembly, 6 more than the simple majority required, that is 172, the Prime Minister has settled the issue of parliamentary numbers. Perhaps he considered this to be the best way to deal with the shock defeat of his Finance Minister Hafiz Sheikh in the Senate polls. However, is a discourse marker followed by a comma. This vote of confidence may pale in front of mounting difficulties staring his government in the face. Pale means fade, mounting means enormous, and staring means be unpleasantly prominent or striking. One of the most serious problems is his newfound sparring with the ECP. Sparring means exchanging verbal blows. In his speech after obtaining the vote, the Prime Minister once again criticized the ECP and suggested, rather bizarrely, that the electoral body should get a secret briefing from the agencies to understand how much money had been used in Senate elections. Rather bizarrely is again between the double commas that does not disturb the flow of sentence. By repeatedly accusing the ECP of not doing its job, Mr. Khan is creating unnecessary tension with constitutional body that has done well to take firm action against the electoral manipulation that was witnessed in Daska by-election. In the Senate election too, the ECP has followed the orders of Supreme Court and organized the election through a secret ballot that is mandated by the Constitution. Mandated means necessary. The government would be well advised to avoid confrontation with the ECP as a part of its political narrative building. What it should focus on instead is to bring about a comprehensive set of electoral reforms by forging a consensus among all parties in Parliament. Forging means forming. This is easier said than done, but it is the only way to ensure an election that is acceptable to all. The Prime Minister has announced that the government would bring in electronic voting machines, but this would be a hollow move if it is not a part of longer reform package that is supported by all stakeholders. The PTI government need to review it go it alone policy. This may have become even more difficult after the unpleasant incident on Saturday when PTI workers assaulted senior members of PMLN team, including former Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi and party spokesperson Maryam Aurangzeb. The incident has raised political temperatures as well as the level of polarization and will make it even more improbable that the government and the opposition can forge any semblance of working relationship. Improbable means not likely to be true or happen, yet doubtful, and semblance means appearance. The situation is grim. Grim means very serious or gloomy. The government may not need to initiate some confidence building measures if it wants a smoother functioning of its mandate for the remaining 2.5 years of its term. All indicators are that this may be difficult for the government to do. The system is overheating and can trigger a crisis on the smaller of pretexts. Pretext means an excuse to do something or say something that is not accurate. And sanity must prevail before it is too late. Sanity means the ability to think and behave in a normal and rational manner. Next editorial is Covid19 Spike, and spike means increase sharply. Fears about a spike in Covid-19 cases in the country turned real this week as coronavirus infection, hospitalization and positivity ratio marked increase. SAPM means Special Assistant to Prime Minister for National Health Services, that is Faisal Saud, said the decline witnessed over the last 2 months is clearly reversing and the positivity had gone up from 3.31% to 4.1% within 1 week. In Punjab, Friday saw 860 cases, the highest reported figure in a day over the last 3 months across the province. This sentence is between the double dashes that will break the flow of sentence. A report also suggested that cases in Punjab are the highest among people between the ages of 21 and 30. The increase in cases follows the lifting of restrictions across the country a few weeks ago. From educational institutions to indoor weddings, most activities are in full swing, while neither mass testing nor vaccination rollout are meeting satisfactory targets. On March 5, only 38,200 tests were conducted across the country, a figure that is far too low, especially since commercial activities and gatherings are in full swing. Experts and health bodies across the world have said that widely available testing is the only way to gauge the prevalence of virus, and trends are developing. Gauge means estimate or to determine. But for some inexplicable reasons, that means unable to explain or accounted for, the authorities in Pakistan have failed to go beyond 50,000 or so daily tests. The vaccination program too has been unimpressive and with low registration by healthcare workers and lack of clarity from the government about how it will be rolled out. The arrival of AstraZeneca vaccine has been delayed, while what is more alarming is that Pakistan is yet to purchase vaccines. All the vaccines available today, as well as those expected to arrive in the country, are donations by the China or COVAX. Hence, an urgent vaccination program should be the top priority. Across the world, countries suffered by Covid-19 are looking at phased reopening as the vaccine is administered. People must be informed and protected. The government must do more than simple SOP enforcement, especially as the fear of Covid-19 appears to be absent from the public imagination. Last editorial is about wasted food. The number is mind-boggling. Boggling means astonishing or amazing. According to UN Environment Programme's Food Waste Index, over 900 million tons of food is thrown away every year, with close to 60% of this wasted at home. This is nothing short of criminal, considering the evil hunger that stalks humanity. As per figures, 690 million people were affected by hunger. To put these things in perspective, the amount of wasted food could fill 23 million tons. You can put these figures and facts in your essay to make your articulation more beautiful. These figures illustrate the fact that there is something very wrong with people's approach towards food. While such a huge amount of food makes its way into the bin, hundreds of millions of people are forced to sleep hungry. Therefore, more efforts are required on the global level to address this issue and reduce such wanton wastage. Wanton means deliberate and unprovoked. You can see, therefore, is a discourse marker, primarily is also a discourse marker along with moreover. These discourse markers extensify your expression of essay. Primarily, to reverse the negative trend of wasting food, efforts required to be undertaken at home. Consumers should only buy and cook enough food to meet their requirements and avoid bulk buying or preparing more than is required. This way, the needless waste of edible items can be minimized. Moreover, there are several non-profits in the fields that take surplus food from restaurants and other establishments and provide it to the less fortunate. This model needs to be promoted to prevent food from being thrown away and ensuring the most vulnerable do not starve. Aside from the strange dichotomy means a division or contrast between two things. Dichotomy of massive amounts of food being thrown away at one end and millions going hungry at the other. Food wastage also has significant impact on the planet. For example, when food is consigned to garbage bin, the resources invested in growing it are wasted, while discarded food is also a major emitter of greenhouse gases. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization offers numerous means many tips on how to decrease food loss and food waste. These include buying only what one needs, storing food wisely, using leftovers, and donating surplus food before it rots. The fact is that it will require changing personal and family habits as well as putting in place policies to prevent such massive food wastage. Massive means huge. At the local level, the importance of not wasting food must be highlighted by the state and within communities, for example, by producing public service message on variety of media. Taking food wastage seriously will not only be better for the earth, it will also ensure no one in our surrounding goes hungry. Thank you so much this was all about today's Dawn editorial.